3, 2, 1, go! Like I said, my best secret to killing elk is seeing and finding as many elk as possible to go after, and that is living behind the glass. All right, so the crux of this video is this tactic changed my game when it comes to elk hunting. And the tactic is I call less and I glass more. So first I want to talk about the calling, then I'm going to tell you about the glassing, give you a few tips for that, because that's hopefully why you're watching this video, is to gain a little bit of insight on the elk hunting side of things, because that's what I know. So what does that mean to call less? It means that if the elk are talking, I don't like to interject or make myself be known. I prefer to be basically like a predator, where I'm just sneaking in as close as possible. They're giving away their location, and I'm trying to take advantage of an opportunity. Ooh, maybe just a teeny tiny high. I've been running this system. I just ordered foliage green. I'm gonna set that up right now. Tim and Jake, or Jake and Tim, they're gonna arm wrestle, because I think they both want the coyote brown, but there can only be one winner. So we are literally gonna have them arm wrestle in the next clip to see winner takes all, or winner gets first choice. So we'll do that in a second. But I like to have the fully enclosed vinyl harness, because when I hike through brush and stuff, when I run a vinyl harness that's open like this, all this crap ends in the bottom, and then you get a bunch of dirt and crap on the end of your vinyls. I'm not into that. So these come like this, and it snaps. The magnets are awesome. I've never had an issue with any of them. Inside here is going to be your straps. I'm going to set that up. Secondly, when the elk are talking, and it's not every day they're talking, but sometimes you'll get a herd bull who has a satellite or two and they're pesky. That's perfect. That's when you can really sneak in, and the bulls generally are at the back of the line and the cows are in the front, so you don't want to like have them walk right by you. And generally speaking, the elk are always traveling with the wind in their face, so you're always gonna have to come at them at the right angle. If you got a pesky satellite and you got yourself a herd bull, you're in business. You don't need to add any sounds. Now it can work, and it does for a lot of people, but you got to remember, are you Dirk Durham? Are you Jason Phelps? Do you sound as good as they do? Are you Jermaine Hodge? Do you compete and win at elk calling? I don't. I sound good enough, and I don't think you have to sound that great to convince an elk. But when they're doing the talking, let them do the talking and work in, and just be close to elk as long as possible. Get as close as possible. And stay as close as long as possible. Little right. In the back here is usually where I run all of my elk tags, deer tags, whatever tags I have. I just keep them on my person at all time. So that's where I put that. On the side here, this is the pocket. I will usually keep chapstick first and foremost. 2 is 1, so I always have 2 chapsticks, and no, I don't let anyone borrow those or use those. And then I keep an Allen in there. On this side, I keep my rangefinder, and on the right side, and then in the front here, I'll keep a lens cloth for wiping my binos down. And that's kind of how I run this system. This is exact duplicate of what I have. So the first thing I'll do is I'll take these 10x42s. I got the mag view on top. I'm gonna put that in here. I have these straps. I'm gonna take them off. I actually don't like having my bino harnesses strapped to where they're limited to how far they can move. I like them free floating, and then I can just put them back in there. I was worried about losing my binos, but I did that all last year and never lost them. So I like having the freedom to pull these out and just don't set them down somewhere in the woods. And that's the mantra that my buddy Jared Lyle told me that he uses, and I'm stealing it. He says, Dan, I try to get as close as possible and stay as close as possible to the elk, and good things happen. And I couldn't agree more. And that's kind of that bubble style. Another thing I've done a lot more is started observing elk from master vantages. I always pack a spotter now. It's an angled spotter. That's really important for long glassing sessions and eye relief. And I will use a tripod. I'll use this MagView setup or any sort of digiscope. And what it does is allows me to really study their behavior, how are they interacting, their own personal hierarchy or chain of command, and what is their habits, what is their mission, are they rutting, is there any cows hot, where are they bedding, why are they bedding there, where are they feeding, where are they getting water. It's not how are they traveling the mountain. What's the path of least resistance that they feel safe? And what's their path where they have the wind? Where can I take advantage? Ooh, good, good. So I'll start with the top. I like my bino harness to ride very high up here to make room for my chest holster. I use a chest holster from Alien Gear. It's called the Cloak chest holster. And then I just lower the strap so it rides below. Love. I might make it just a touch tighter, a little higher, depending on how barrel chested you are. Like if you're buff and swole like Tim, you'll see him in a second. But this is perfect for me. I can still run a holster. Looks in the back. Good to go. I will take these off and I'll just run a bino like that. This is the foliage green, medium size range, medium pocket, good to go. 3, 2, 1, go! The other thing about glassing is I do 10x42s. I think anything bigger than that is usually just too big. Anything less than that is not big enough. Your field of view has got to be just right. I do a lot of steel hunting in bedrooms in open timber type country where there's not a lot of underbrush, one-step glass, and you can pick up from your vantage an ear or a tine or a little fluff of hair. And once you start doing that, then you can locate the elk and sneak in or get as close as you can and hunt them in their bedrooms. It's risky business, so it's got to be a really good windy day where the wind can cover your sound. They're in a position. But man, those elk like to bed and spread out and cover all sorts of different angles with the wind blowing to them, and then they can look at their downwind side. I mean, they cover their ground. They're smart, but there's times to take advantage. So the biggest tips I'm giving you guys is to be more patient. It takes longer than you think. Let the situation develop on its own. Maybe don't bugle as much or cow call as much. Let the elk do more of the talking and spend more time behind glass in certain terrain features. Now, obviously, if it's dark timber and it's thick as heck, you're not gonna get the opportunity to glass elk. You're gonna have to vocalize, and I understand that. But the other thing I can tell you, that's my worst shot. Bitch, please call me, Nana, I don't wanna win the war. Bitch, please call me, Nana, I don't wanna win the war. Even in that thick country, I was still able to sneak in on bulls and shoot them without them knowing I was there. And there is a formula for me personally. The bigger, more mature elk I kill, the less calling or no calling I did, and I just tried to slip in. So that means catching them in transition. They transition in the mornings at first light, and they transition in the evenings at last light. You gotta be athletic, you gotta be fit, you gotta get the wind right, and you gotta be aggressive, and you can't get picked off, and you gotta know when to strike. So for you new elk hunters especially, don't watch Primos videos like I did, where they're hunting ranches and these elk are really susceptible to vocalizations. These elk on public land, they've been around the block. They know that not all elk sounds are elk. They've learned, and you got to do your best to know when to strike, when to vocalize, and be willing to change strategies. Ooh, that's good.
All right, guys, I'm going to take the multicam just because I'm going to be the bigger guy. That's what Tim wants, and I really don't care. So color doesn't really matter a whole lot to me, honestly. I have personally never ran a Marsupial Gear. I'll show you guys what I was using. I'm super stoked to use this. I like how big some of these pockets are. The big thing for me is having this bear spray mounted underneath. This right here is going to be huge for me. I carry bear spray a lot. The suspension on these, I like a lot better than what I was using. My old harness, I do carry a lot of stuff. They'll make fun of me for having everything in my bino harness, so I keep chapstick and fire starter and lighters and windicator, and I mean, the sucker's full. But that being said, that thing sags down to like it's a belly bag, not a chest harness. So I'm super stoked with this. The suspension is a lot better. That thing's gonna ride up nice and high where I want it to be. And I do think it's a better product. I think it's more slimline, and I'm excited to test it out this year. So I think it definitely is a better product. This is a lot more slimline. It's gonna be, what'd I say?
Slimline.
Streamlined. Okay. Okay, so it's definitely a better product. It's a lot more streamlined. It's gonna be up higher on my chest. Everything's gonna be nice and tight. Nothing in the way. Shooting my bow, exactly what I want.
Last but not least, when it comes to binoculars and choices and all that jazz, just know that to me, I find more value in sitting at a master vantage in the mornings and or evenings where I can observe the elk. Now they're not gonna follow the same pattern every day, but they're gonna give tells. They're gonna leave behind sign. They're leaving behind clues as to where they're gonna slip up and how you're gonna take advantage of their mistake. And I can tell you, you guys can watch a bunch of YouTube videos. You can watch DVDs, read blogs, articles, books on elk hunting. And I don't know if enough of them explain this. So I'm gonna tell you right now, you just gotta keep your head down and grind every second of your hunt, and good stuff will eventually happen. Don't let yourself get lazy. Don't start feeling sorry for yourself. Don't get homesick. Don't get lonely. Those are all natural. Fight the urge. Stay in the game. Don't kick rocks down the trail, because the beautiful thing about archery elk hunting is that it can all change in 10 seconds.
This started it all. Marsupial basically decided I looked like a homeless person because this is 5 or 6 years old. Dan and I went on our original South Dakota trip with this, for sure. But look at that. This has held the test of time. We just got an update, which is super cool. I like flat colors. Everything looks good. It's just updated. Everything is updated. Comment below what kind of binoculars you think I should be using, because we're going to go shopping for some binos this year. These have been good. They're just old. They're beat up. They're probably older than this bino harness, which says something. Allen wrench, windicator. Here's the secret sauce of my bino harness always. Ooh, a little extra knife, earplugs, couple turkey call specials, and rangefinder. It's been good to me, but we're going to retire this. Oh, look at that. Binos covered. That's new for me. What I've always appreciated about these bino harnesses is everything being magnetic. So it can open and close and just hang out there. I like keeping my Allens in the side. I like that I now have a little mesh back pocket. Stuff my tags or whatever back there maybe. Still TBD. What would you put back there? Windy? Bear spray for a later date. No bear country, big bear country on my calendar. The only thing I know about this one is we probably need to set the shoulders up wider than Jake's. I think we should have arm wrestle standing up. I think that was my mistake.
Well, we'll do it when we're done.
I didn't get to use my leverage. And that's what I got. Just a good, simple, clean setup. That's what I've always appreciated about Marsupial Gear is it's not overdone. Most people, unlike Jake, don't need 45 things in their bino harness. They can get away with 7 or 8 and everything just is there for a purpose. So I dig this.
This has a lot of benefits that I like. This cover closes, protects your glass, keeps that from getting scratched. You open it up, one movement, get your phone, drop it right on. So you can adjust this a little bit side to side, a little bit this way. One Allen screw, you tighten that on, that goes right onto your spotter. That cover stays on here, you don't ever have to take it off. Covers your glass, you open this up, you're good to go. It's going to protect this. You have your magnet here. You have the magnet on your phone. So here's my phone. Here's Dan's phone. His has a case. Mine does not. So you could have different cases. You could put this magnet strip on. But literally as easy as dropping this right on, hit record, you're good to go. I could pull this off, get Dan's phone, clip that on. Now he's good to go. So super easy. No special cases. No special adapters. On, off. Within seconds, throw this back in your pack. You're good to go on your stock.
Then you flip that open and this is a magnet. So your phone, you just put it on video mode in it. This is replacing my phone scope. You guys see that bear? When I put it in my pack, it protects my viewfinder, which is awesome.
You guys, recording animals through your spotter is one thing that we do all the time. This product that we want to show you is by MagView. Super easy to apply. You're going to use this alcohol wipe the back of your phone, stick the magnet strip on. The cool thing about this, Dan can have a phone with a case, I can have a different phone with a different case. That mag strip goes on any case, any phone, goes right on your spotter. You don't need a special cover, don't need a special case, no adapters, one thing on your phone. They also have an adapter for your binos. Let me show you what that looks like. Okay, so here's your magnet strip. That drops right on. Your camera on your phone looks through this lens. You don't have to have this on a tripod. You don't have to have anything. You can record, hold these right in your hand and look through the screen on your phone.